Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Riayatit Taufiqah and I'm a student of Department of English Education, UIN Syarifah Jakarta. Now, I'm gonna present you my 10 articles reviews, and for the 10 article reviews actually relating each other, so I have divided into three categories. The first category is about teachers, second category is about parents, and the third category is about teachers and parents. Actually, the main topic of this article is about student and children, so it is related to teachers and also parents, and also related to both teacher and parents. Okay, for the first article is about effectiveness of using games in teaching grammar to young learners. That's written by Glenn Yoler Gerdeli and Arda Arikan. And for this research discuss about using games in teaching grammars for young children. And in a study actually led to language games that indicate that games are crucially important in foreign language learning and also foreign language teaching. And it is found that the fact that games are the most suitable instructional activities for young learners, and it is very obvious because games are natural part of the existence, and the method in this study is using questionnaire. And for the aim of this study is to explore the effectiveness of using games in teaching grammar to young learners from the viewpoints of Turkish EFL teachers working in schools. And the finding in the study that games are one of the best way make to get the young learners energy into language learning, because young learners like to be more active, to be more imaginative and be creative, and also they learn subconsciously. Because in this article talking about using games in teaching grammars, or one of the skill in English, so it is related with improving speaking skills through instruction in oral classroom participation, that written by Wenli Su. And for in the class participant is very important to language learner. So research help to increase the citizen is Asian students participation in class and enhance their language proficiency. And in this study, just focus only on the student from the Taiwan as the subject. And for the method in the study is includes both qualitative and quantitative data. And for the qualitative data were collected through questionnaires, tests, and also the observations. And the aim in the study is to understand additionally the problem about is Asian student problem, which is the reticent students, and also looking for the methods to increase language and outcome. So the research introduced instructional treatment participation, and also the author found that the teachers need to modify the question into simple yes or no question in the classroom before she could get any kind of the student response. And because in the previous article talking about the teacher in the classroom, so it is related with mixed emotions teachers' perception of their interaction with students. That's written by Andy Hargraves. And in this study, discuss about the result of investigating teachers' emotional response to educational change, that emotional nature of their interactions with students, with school leaders, and with parents, and also with each others, which is how the ways they express the emotionality in the teaching and also in the life, that vary according to the gender and also the ethnocultural identity and also the stage of life and career where they find themselves. And for the research was gotten by the interviews with 60 teachers in rank of elementary and secondary schools in the province of Ontario in Canada. And for the purpose of the research is to make teachers understand about the methodology of the study and know how to the terms of a teacher's perception of the emotion aspects for the interaction with the students. And the finding of this study is that emotion is located not just in the individual's mind but also embedded and expressed in human interaction and also relationship. And for the next study, let's which the previous study about the perception of the interaction between teacher and students, so relating with teacher and classroom context effects on student achievements, which is implication for teacher evaluation that written by Paul Wright, Sandra P. Horn, and William L. Sanders. And in the study discussed about the Tennessee Value Add Assessment System or TVAAS, which uses statistical mixed model of methodology to enable a multivariate and longitudinal analysis of student achievement data. And also, the author found that the differences in teacher perspectives can be the dominant factors and affect the students to gain the academic. For the goal of the study is to examine the relative magnitude of teachers' effects on student achievement while simultaneously considering and it is influence of intra-classroom heterogeneity, student achievement levels, and class size on academic growth. And in this research derived from analysis of a subset of data from the 1994 and 1995 TCAP scores for five subjects, which is math total, reading total, language total, social studies, and also science. And for the three grades, which is the third grade, the fourth grade, and the last the fifth grade. And for the next study is about assessing student conception of learning, and it's relating which the previous which is between teacher and classroom, and also this is uh, the kind of evaluation which is assessing students. And the writer is Nola Purdy and John Hattie. The study describes the development of an instrument designed to assess student conception of learning, and the conception learning inventory, which is COLI, was developed from qualitative data obtained from Australian and Japanese high school students. And for the research is gotten from qualitative data that obtained from the Australian high school students. And actually there is an important aim of the study that to move beyond identification of the rank of categories of conception of learning to test empirically the dimensionality of those categories. And for the result is obtained from the structural equation modeling of items that had been developed from the students. And for the next article relating with the previous, which is about assessing students or learning overlearning, which is actually assessing the children. And for the next is relating with children, that is emotion regulation in context, that the jealousy complex between young siblings and its relations with child and family characteristic, that written by Brenda, Nancy, and Allison. And for the study discussed about younger siblings, jealous effect with mothers is linked to the child temperament, whereas older siblings, jealous effect with mothers led to the child emotional and understanding. And so all of the younger siblings jealous is related with the mothers and display more behavioral dysregulation if the mother siblings tried if there was greater sibling rivalry reported by mothers. And for the research use both of interviews and also questionnaires. For the aim of the study is to examine siblings jealousy and its relations to child and family characteristics. 60 families with a 16-month-old toddler and an older preschool age sibling. The finding that in the organization of emotional expression and coping behaviors in a jealousy-inducing paradigm consisting of parents and young siblings. Still about parenting between father and mother. So it is relating with the previous, which is parenting styles and child behavior in and in African American families of preschool children, which writer is Jan, Tamara, and Sheila M. Aberg. For this study discuss about children behaviors problems and three models of parental control that differentiated parents on the basis of their authority over their children, and for data were obtained by undergraduate research assistant, which is four Caucasian females, one Caucasian male, and one African American female. For the purpose of the study is to re-examine the association between parenting styles and the whole details of child behavior problems in African American preschool age children. And actually, there is a finding from the research which is similar high correlation between the scales in a community sample of Hispanic mothers of young children. Still about parenting, and it means that this article relating with the previous article, which is parenting styles in mothers and fathers of toddlers with autism spectrum disorder, association with child characteristics, that written by Naomi Orsnid and Alice Skelter. For the research discuss about parenting styles because it has been one of the most frequent research and aspects of family life among families of children with autism spectrum disorders, and the factor that impact parenting status because it is needed in order to help families adapt to the challenges of caring for a young child with ISD. This research used interviews and questionnaires, and for the goal of the research are given to three. The first, to investigate the nature of mother's and father experience, and the second, to determine whether mother and fathers report similar or different levels of parenting stress, and the last, to examine the relation of autism symptoms. For the next is about self-reports of short and long-term effects of bullying on children who stumble. So it is written because it is still talking about children. That's written by Siobhan and Peters. This research discusses short and long-term effects of bullying on children who stumble because victimization at school may result in long-term social, emotional, and psychological effects, and particularly for children with special educational needs. And for the research was conducted through but semi-structured interviews and so the postal questionnaires, and the aim of the research is to explore the nature, frequency, and also the causes of bullying among children stammers, as well as the short and long-term effects of the victimization. And there is finding that bullying and peer relationship difficulties are indeed common in different children's schools experience. And for the last article is about motivational components of underachievement, and it is still about the children, so it is relating with the previous article that written by Martha, John, and Scott. For the study discuss about the implication of selected components of the metacognitive model, and especially attributional beliefs and self-esteem for understanding and underachievement, which is the children who are functioning below their ability levels but not failing. And actually, there is finding that a large number of underachievers in America are characterized by their initially slow academic progress. And for the research, use reading awareness and questionnaires. And actually, there is an important purpose of the study, that is to compare and predict academic performance in achieving and unachieving students on the basis of motivational and affective and also metacognitive process. And actually, there is a finding that both achiever and underachiever attribution, self-esteem, and metacognition interacted in similar fashion to predict reading achievement. That's all my review article. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.